So as I record this, it is currently, where am I looking this way? So it's 10:47 a.m. Um, on Monday, the day after Easter, April 21st, 2025. And so this is going to be a recording for Spiritual Sunday. I realized, so my dog is over here, Bonnie. This is Bonnie Bailey. She's looking at the window. She looks out the window. I know she wants to go for a walk. I know that she would definitely want to go for a walk. She's recuperating from. Did you know I'm talking about you? She knew. She knew I was talking about her. So she stopped. Right? Did you know I was talking about you? Yes, she did. So, okay. So, what? Do you want to sit with me? While I say this, do you want to sit with me? It smells like soap. Well, that's also because I was cleaning my comforter. The soap. Spot cleaning it. Why are you looking at me like that? So, as I said, so today is Monday, April 21st. Now it's 10:48 a.m. And I am still in Vermont. I have not found anything yet in terms of work, but I would like to work remotely because I feel like that's just more feasible for me. Because especially with Bonnie, now that she had this whole infection thing. What? Do you know I'm talking about you? You know I'm talking about you. My butt is sitting on the spot that I was cleaning. I'm going to cover it like that. So these are not my pillows. These are the pillows from the Furnish Finder. This is my pillow. Amazon. This is Amazon. This is actually, I got this pillow cover on Amazon. It's actually super soft. It's from, I think it's called Okiotex. It's like reversible. I love this pillow. This is like one of my prized possessions is this pillow. I will never get rid of this pillow. I don't even care if it doesn't match wherever I go to next. I will place this like this. So, as I was saying, so Spiritual Sunday was yesterday, was Easter. I did not record anything on Easter. Or no, actually I did. I take that back. Did I record it? I think I did. Maybe. I recorded a vlog this morning because I wanted to give a true depiction of what life is like as a single 33-year-old person. And I am drinking from so this cup I got, I think at Target, it says, "You're doing great." It always reminds me that if I have like a shitty day and I grab this cup from the shelf, I'm like, "Thank you, cup. Thank you, Target." You can find motivation in different things. The smallest of things, actually. So I like this cup and it feels really soft. I'm really big on like textures and stuff. I don't know why, like sensory stuff. So this is my cup. So again, coffee and cuppies. That's why I call it coffee and cuppies, because coffee, Cuban coffee more specifically, and cuppies, which are the nickname I used to give. Which, do I still have that book? Hold on. Side note. Side note. I don't know if I can find it. Where is this book? You would think I'd be able to find this book, but oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, so way back when, just a side note for anyone that likes to bake. So way back when I was growing up, I liked to bake a lot, and we used to take pictures of. I actually, one of my teachers, it was in freshman year, she actually bought cupcakes from me. Like I made cupcakes for her, and she bought cupcakes from me, and I wanted to call it Cuppies by Ashley, I think. That's what I have so many passions and things that I like to do, but I think I, even when, okay, so when I went to an art school for high school and then for college as well. And then my first semester so it was a high school and a college, both like an art school or whatever, a magnet school in Florida, Miami. And then the first semester, I did one semester there and I realized, nope, I was like, theater's not my thing. Even though I still love musical theater, I still listen to like show tunes and whatnot. I actually told the dean, I was like, I told her, I was like, I want to make, I told her, I was like, I really love cupcakes and I want to make cupcakes or bake. And so this, this was like, so we made like a book. I think my mom made a book. And she called it Cupcakes Galore. I think that's what I was going to call it, Cuppies Galore or something. And these were actually like, so this was actually for my teacher. Her name was Miss Graham. It was like freshman or sophomore year. No, it was not freshman year, it was sophomore year because I went to, so these were the cupcakes that they looked so bad. In my mind, I thought they were so good, but they were so bad. I'm gonna get to the most spiritual reading, but this is just something fun. But look how these look so bad, but these were red velvet with cream cheese frosting with little like I don't know. I love to bake. Baking is like one of my favorites. So this was one of the good pictures though. I was trying so at the time there was a cupcake brand. So Sprinkles, Magnolia Cupcakes, Billy's Bakery in New York. I remember when we used to go to New York a lot, I was so big on like scouting out different bakeries. Like I literally would just like make like go on Yelp and find bakeries just to bookmark them and so we can go and I could review them and whatever. So and then my obsession turned to nitrogen ice cream. That literally like I went from like cupcakes to like nitrogen ice cream. I don't even know. To cookies. Cookies were always like my thing. I love chocolate chip cookies. But just be mindful of let me tell you, if anyone ever makes you cookies from their house, like make sure you buy cookies from I know it sounds crazy, but like you never know how people when they make cookies for you or they bake something, and this is what I'm gonna be mindful of too, if I give someone something, be careful because you don't know what they put in that stuff. Like I've received cookies from people and like things and I've gotten like sick after that. Um or had like weird neurological issues. So yeah, be mindful of things that you receive from people. So anyways, but if you make it, it's the solution, make it yourself at home. And if you actually become a business, make sure you like gain credibility by like vetting the stuff that you have. So anyways, this one of my favorite pictures. This is carrot cake. We made carrot cake cupcakes. This was when I was maybe like in my teens or like early 20s. I love the color. I love pastel colors. As you can see, the bedding is pastel. So my head. No, wait. I'm sitting in lotus pose. In yoga, we call this lotus pose. So, well, technically, you're supposed to put like 1 foot here. I haven't done that in so long. In 1 foot there, which actually I'd prefer to keep it like this. So, but anyways, so I just had this. These are my cupcakes. And there was a time when there was a bakery called Crumb's Bakery that was in when we went to California as a family, and we stopped off. It wasn't Crumble because Crumble is like a cookie thing. This was called Crumbs, and they basically what they did is they would like cover like this. They would cover the cupcake all over. Like I was trying to replicate Crumbs cupcakes. Basically, was I successful? I don't know. Um, oh, this is my favorite picture. This is my favorite picture because it has little pearls on it. It has little teeny tiny pearls. My dog is not amused though. My dog is not amused. Let me put this. So, okay, I'm gonna get to the reading right now. Spiritual Sunday. Well, really, Spiritual Monday. Oh, here's another one. So that's why. So I'm just giving an insight into why I called it coffee and cuppies because cupcakes are literally like they were like one of my favorite things growing up, and they still are. I love cupcakes. I love cupcakes, chocolate chip pancakes, chocolate chip cookies. Basically, all the stuff that's like bad for you. I like that stuff. So, and I like shakes. I like milkshakes. Side note, side tangent. There was a guy that I matched with like a few weeks ago. I never realized how much diet. And this is why we date, right? To find out if you're compatible with somebody. And that's why sometimes it's easier to do friends with benefits because it's like you don't have to worry about all like do you like pork? No, I don't like pork. Do you like to go snowboarding? No, I don't like to go snowboarding. Do you like snorkeling? I'm scared of sharks. I don't know. I'm not really, well, am I scared of sharks? If they're like whale sharks, like the ones that are like with the big spots on them, like in Finding Nemo, no, I'm not scared of them. But yeah, big sharks that you see like Jaws, like tiger sharks, like with hammerheads and like the teeth, yeah, those are kind of I don't want to put it this way, I won't be surfing anywhere anytime soon. And luckily, I don't have any sharks around me. Maybe I do have sharks that are people, but not sharks that are actual like physical sharks. But anyways, that's why I call it coffee and cuppies because I love coffee. I like Cuban coffee. I like frappuccinos. I have yet to try cold brew. When I moved to Philadelphia, I had a co-worker who was obsessed with cold brew from La Colombe. I don't know what the hype is. Oh, and nitro coffee, nitro brew. I don't know what the hype is. Maybe I need to try it. I also realized I'm not big on boba tea. I don't know why. I've never, but I can't knock something until you try it. I just don't know what boba tea is. I know it's like these little bubbles and stuff that they put. I don't know if it's like fruit or like chocolate. Basically anything that's chocolate, I like fruit I'm not big on unless it's like blended in a smoothie, which sounds really weird. I know I probably have some sensory issues. I'm gonna make this brighter. I get that. I always wondered if I was a kid why I wasn't diagnosed with like some sensory processing disorder. Because as an adult, there are things that are kind of overstimulating to me, or like, um, what is it? Yeah, like fruit. I don't eat any fruit, like basically, which is really bad when you think about it. My intake of fruit really sucks. I wish there was a way to get your fruit intake. I'm taking, oh my God, I'm going so ADD, neurospicy brain. Um, which reminds me, I have to call for my prescription to be sent into Walgreens because I don't have a card and I have a prescription that could be used. It's supposed to help with focus and concentration. We'll see. I don't know. Modern medicine, there's like so many wonderful things about it, like surgery and all that, but then I also think we are the medicine as well. Dance, music, laughter, cooking, pet therapy, acupuncture, aromatherapy, all these other like ancillary therapies or whatever. I'm a big proponent of. I'm a big proponent of like holistic homeopathic stuff, right? Which modern medicine would dictate that that's all like floofy and stupid, which I don't think so. Because if you look at it, turmeric is a superfood, it's anti-inflammatory. Coconut oil has actually been proven because of the triglycerides and omega-3 fatty acids, like the fatty chain triglycerides, it actually like coats, so like people with Parkinson's and stuff who have like, um, what's it called? Basically the transmission of messages between the synapses, like the neurotransmitters and the neurons and all that stuff. Basically, like when you have Parkinson's or multiple sclerosis, the myelin sheath that coats the axons and all that good stuff, the nerve cells, is like depleted. So basically, the messages aren't sent as well. So that's why you see people with tremors and like motor issues and stuff. But apparently, coconut oil is supposed to help alleviate that, or at least build help with like memory and like motor function if you have motor impairment. Anyways, I'm gonna get back to what I was supposed to be doing, which is the spiritual Sunday. It's not Sunday, it's Monday. But I have my 3 decks. I'm not gonna give a preface because I already did an intro video to that. So yes, I do card reading. I got into a little bit of an intro. I started reading cards like maybe a year and a half. No, 2022. That's when I started. No. 2021? I forgot when I got my first card deck. I tried to do tarot, didn't work out. It was too confusing. I know that there's people who are psychics and stuff who can like read the cards because they have little pictures of like all these different like there's like I remember it was like Queen of Cups, and like cups represent like abundance and like over like water is emotion. I don't know. I tried it. I couldn't really. It didn't stick with me. I felt weird doing it, to be honest. This is when you talk about like Christian values and stuff, because the thing is like that kind of stuff, like card reading and stuff, kind of veers on the occult. When I say occult, I mean OCCULT. And when you think of that, it can correlate and relate to like paganism or whatever. And like I don't know, like I've always like when you think about Ouija boards and stuff, I will never get a Ouija board in my life as long as I live, because Ouija boards scare the shit out of me, because you just don't like, I don't know, it's just like creepy to me to think like something could move and like it's telling you, like to me, I actually have cards that do have letters on them and they're blank, and I've actually think I've solved stuff like in my life and like figured out who was responsible for something and this. Like if someone was talking shit about me, I think I figured out who that was or like what happened or whatever. Anyways, you have to be careful with it, because like I do believe in the spiritual world, but I do believe just like, okay, so just like in the physical world you have nice people. I think in the like you have nice people and mean people in the physical. I think in the non-physical it's the same thing. I think there's like energy is like you have really good energy and you have really really bad energy, and certain people are conduits or vessels for messages and stuff. That's why you see like Long Island Medium, you see Tyler Henry, Matthew Frazier, Rodley Valentine. There's a bunch of people like well-known psychics or whatever. So they're the ones who I guess they help relay messages from the departed. I don't call them departed. I look at it like, I don't know, like souls like, to me, we die physically, but I don't think we die cosmically. Does that make sense? I don't know. I wish I could. I can't like pop a spirit out of like thin air and be like, look, here's Bobby, here's Rebecca, here's Tyler, here's Valerie. I don't know. I think you'd have to like they'd have to vibrate really because I think once you transition to like non-physical, the density of like our physical body is so different from I think what like a non-physical entity would be like. So, anyways, so yeah, I'm very careful about like the tarot thing. I really like I know that, and it's funny because I've watched tarot readers. Like I was like, whoa, this is interesting. I'm like, why are they little cards? And then like so when you think about a psychic, you think of like a person with like big hoop earrings and a turban with a crystal ball. Like it's so not like that, like at all. Like I've watched people on YouTube that are readers and stuff, and I don't know how they pick up a story. I mean, so the cards come out in a certain way after you shuffle them and they fall out, and apparently it's supposed to like tell a story through how they fall out. People who are like super like very staunch like like they would think like what I'm doing is like basically voodoo like, and it's not like, and it's crazy because like this one, so Doreen Virtue was she was like she says that she was a messenger for like God or for archangels and stuff, and so she actually has a deck called Saints and Angels. So it's like I think people have this misconception about it a bit, and I don't really want to get too much into that. I'm just gonna pull cards and see what comes out. I didn't shuffle. I know, so I do this with the I know some people they like knock on the things. They like do sage and like all this like stuff, and they're like, they get the little bells and they're like ding. And I'm very not. I'm a very unconventional, nonchalant type of reader, if that makes sense. It's like a pastime. It's like a hobby, I guess, but it's actually helped me develop my intuition like a lot because there's been things that I've had questions about that I'm like physically no one has given me answers about, and then spiritually, intuitively, I feel it and I know it, but no one's physically told me like the proof. Like if I had proof of everything that I've gone through the past 4 years, if someone came up to me and was like, "You were right," I'd be like, "Holy shit." I'd be like, I should be like full time, like a full time psychic card reader or whatever. I just feel bad sometimes. Like I'm doing this. I'm not sure. Like there's people who charge people for readings and stuff like online, and they're like, "Here's my Cash App. Here's whatever." I'm doing this really. I think I just because I always felt like if growing up, if I had um, someone to look up to or guide me and like give me guidance or counsel, that's a peer, right? Because it's different. So when you go and you go to a therapist or whatever, they're licensed clinically to help you get through depression, anxiety, PTSD, whatever, all these other things like mental illnesses and stuff like that. Which is I want to say mental illness is normal, by the way. Though it's stigmatized, we all go through it. We're gonna go through periods of like depression, sadness, isolation, fear, doubt, shame, guilt, embarrassment, anger, lust, all those things, right? Um, I think we need to like take away this like the fact that people, we're all going to go through hard periods in our life. And what I like to say, so one thing I like to say is, which I'm going to say in another video, is that we all have baggage, and it's all the weight of it is going to be different for everybody. um and I think it's more so how you carry that baggage that matters. So um you know and some people may help you carry your baggage. You may get lucky enough where you have somebody literally help you carry your baggage. Sometimes you may have to carry it alone and it's going to be really heavy and it's going to weigh you down, but you have to slowly but surely figure out how to. My dog is asleep now. She's probably so bored. I wish I could show, unless she opens her eyes maybe, but can we open? I don't know. Did she? Oh, she opened her eyes. She was sleeping. She was totally asleep before, and then she woke up. So I do need to take her for a walk though, because she is due for a walk. Physical activities, I realized, mental stimulation and physical activity, I didn't know, like physical activity, yes, but mental stimulation, I didn't realize how for mental health, because dogs are like, they have mental health too. I never really, because they've become bored. I meant to say depression and bored and separately, and I said debored. Um, they become depressed and bored too. So it's like my hair. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee though, really quickly. I don't know if I usually don't like pray or anything. I just go. I've seen people when they do. I'm sorry. There's like hair. My hair is different places. Um, I've seen people who like meditate and they pray and they're like, Dear Jesus, Holy Father God, give us whatever. I just literally go into it, and I'm sorry if that like offends anybody. I can't really say, I don't know if I'm religious. I'm more spiritual, if anything. Like, I don't know. Because religiosity is like if you like, you read the Bible, you go to church like all the time. Like, here's the crazy part, and I know I'm going off on a tangent, but once my brain like starts thinking, it's hard to like stop it. But like, I went to a Catholic school, and like, they teach you to like be aesthetic, meaning like, asceticism is basically when you renounce material goods, like you're not materialistic. I went to a school, the priest wore a Rolex. I'm not kidding when I say this. The priest, we had one priest who was like the shit. He was like super nice. That guy was humble to like the core. Like he would, and you can tell he wasn't like a creepy priest, you know, like the ones where they talk about who, with like the children or whatever, and they abuse children. No, this guy was like a humble, down to earth, good, honest man. And then things changed. They made the church bigger, and I'm like, I don't think you need to make a house of worship bigger to honor God. I think it's the intention and the people who come together, the community, to pray. That's to me, I think, what matters. Um, but they made it bigger, and all the people in the Shutterfly just texted me. Um, um, all the people in the church, they all drove, and I kid you not, these are Catholics. These are supposed to be people who are supposed to renounce earthly goods and possessions. And let me tell you, I'm not going to be, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I like shopping. I can't. It's sad because I love shopping and I love Stitch Fix, and it's like I can't really afford to. Like, oh, it's so frustrating. Anyways, I digress. Um, all the people in the school, like the parents, had like Escalades, Lexuses, Mercedes. I'm talking the top tier cars, Porsche, Acura, just a lot of Range Rover, but a lot of Escalades everywhere. It was like nonstop Escalades. Um, and what's crazy is that these people, the parents, even weren't even that friendly as like parents, you know, like, and these are people who are supposed to be devout Catholics, like they're supposed to be giving glory to God, and you know, it's just, it was more about the aesthetic of like the superficiality of like what you had versus what you can give. And it's like, and then the other thing is when they would ask to donate the church, if you couldn't donate, you would be looked at as like the, so really I take religiosity with a grain of salt. I really do, because and I do consider myself like a non-denominational Christian. I know there's like Latter-day Saints, there's like um the Baptists, the Protestants, the Lutherans, the Pentecostal something something, Methodist, whatever, you know. I just look at it like Jesus was like a humble guy, and they crucified him because they thought like he was gonna like, I don't know, amass power or something, and they didn't want him to be powerful. And they thought he was saying things that were blasphemous, when in actuality, it's so funny. The people that were in power, I didn't watch the show The Chosen that much. I started it and then I like stopped it. I do like historical shows, and the guy was a really good actor. The guy who played Jesus, like, I just feel like honestly Jesus was darker than like what people think, because you're talking about Egyptian times. These people were always in the sun. They came from, you know, in Egypt, like the Fertile Crescent, like Africa and all that. You're like, it's darker. So, but I know in modern day society we depict Jesus as like a, you know, kind of what we say in Spanish, mulato or mulatico, when you're like, you have darker skin and stuff, or tan skin. But anyways, I need to get into there was a purpose of doing this, this whole reading. So I'm going to try to pull one card from each deck. I don't really do any like prayer. I don't have feathers or like beads and stuff. So I apologize. I mean, if that's your thing, I'm kind of very like, I just do it because it's like good to like, it's like insight. I look at it like intuitive insight, if anything. So if I offend you because I'm not like a traditional, like, you know, I'm sorry. um, I used to have a cross necklace. I will say that. I had a cross necklace, and I think people did like witchcraft and shit and black magic, and it broke. It legit broke. I legit had a statue of Mary. Like, this is kind of talking about religiosity. I had a statue of Mary, like with that my aunt gave me. It had little shamrocks on it, and I will never forget when I was going through like the peak of like craziness with bullies and stuff like that, sending bad juju, negative energy towards me. I kid you not, my statue of Mary broke and it fell off my windowsill and the arm, and I couldn't, and I tried to super glue it back, and it makes me want to cry when I think about it because I loved that statue and I had to throw it away because, I do believe that energy is palpable and people can send negative energy your way and stuff. So, but my little cross that I had that I got from Target in Philadelphia, that was like my keepsake, it broke. I've been trying to find one ever since. Um, and then it was that, and then my statue. Yeah, I still have a tin statue of a guardian angel though in my living room. I got that in Philadelphia too. That was nice. I got that at a church. It was made by like a Haitian craftsman or something. And so yeah. But anyway, so I have 3 decks. I have the sacred Denise Lynn sacred. Where's the top? I was gonna say the tapita. I'm sorry. I speak in Spanglish, so if you hear me say like I'll say a English thing, but I'll say it in Spanish. I call it the lata means top, but I call it tapita. So this is this one, and then the middle one is, so you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. So this might actually be a good view. I know, I'm sorry you see my feet, but it kind of gives a good idea of what, So this one, and then this one. The middle one is the saints and angels. Where is the top for that one? Boop. And then this one is the Sonia Choquette one. Oh wait, let's pause. Bonnie's doing her. So Bonnie does this thing where she scratches into. Wait, she's gonna do it. Maybe. Let's see. Is she gonna do it? Yes, she's doing it. I love when she knows she knows I'm recording. So she does this thing where she scratches into the. I love when she does this. She's like, I don't know what it's called. I googled it. I think it's like nesting or something. She's scratching. Okay, now she's settled in. Okay, I'm sorry. That was just I wanted to record that because I wanted to have it for me. So, anyways, okay, going back to what I was saying. I'm sorry this got all discombobulated. But let's put it like this. So we have this one. This is this one, and then we have the last one over here. Is this one? So maybe I'll put it like this so people could see which deck it is. This one. And then the middle one is Saints and Angels. And then this one, right? And then this one is Sacred Destiny. So let's see. I'm going to scoot up closer so people, because one thing I will say is that I didn't like when they were doing readings and stuff, they didn't like show, what's it called? I'm going to put this here. They didn't show the person shuffling, so I wanted to make sure, so you can kind of see me shuffling. There's a song that goes, every day I'm shuffling. Yeah, I think that's party rock anthem. So anyways, let's go like this. I don't want to see people see my crotchal area because that would not be good. But let's do, so this is going to be, I am going to focus though. I'm going to like zero in for a second because my energy is very hyped. I think also because I drank caffeine, I'm slightly more hyped than usual. And it has a lot of sugar in it, which is probably not good. But anyways, so let's do this. Okay. I am going to ask God to give us messages that I think would be feasible, like, important for us, for people right now as a collective. So let me show shuffling. I know my shuffling sucks, so please disregard. These cards are very big and the card stock is like really thick. So shuffling them is kind of hard. Oh God, that's like a lot of cards. That's like too many. Okay, 3 of them came out. We'll go forward with this. Go forward. I literally said it. Okay. We'll do, so I didn't mean for 3 of them to pop out, but they did. Let's see, bottom of the deck. Okay, and then we have Saints and Angels. Scoochy scooch back. Where's Saints and Angels? Okay, here we go. This is Saints and Angels. Let's see what it says. Okay. Do we need anything else? That one rarely comes out. That's crazy. So let's put it this way. Can we put it like this? Can I put it like this? I wish I could like, oh my gosh, it actually worked. Look at that. I didn't think it would stand up. Holy Maloney's. Holy macaronis. Look at that. It stood up. That is crazy. Oh, please don't. Is it going to fall backwards? Yes. No. Oh my God, that's a miracle. Bro, I did not think this is my bed. You would not think it would stand up like that, but apparently it will. So let's do that. And then I'm going to see if there's any other ones for Saints and Angels. Oh, one did come out. Okay, DDBDs. Let's do this. Let's do this. No. Okay, hold on. Oh, please don't fall backwards. Please don't fall backwards. Okay, thank God. Okay, last one. So this is the Ask Your Guides Oracle cards Sonia Choquette thingy. Okay, so this one, interesting. I didn't think that would come up. This is that one. Okay, let's see anything else that wants to come out. Oh, one did come out. Okay. I'm sorry, you can't see like all of them, but I don't know about that one. That's weird. That one I don't want to take. I don't know. Some of them are coming out. I might just stick with those two. I don't see anything else that has to come out. Oh, one did come out. Okay, we'll keep that like that. Back of the deck. Cause success. First. Okay. Okay. Well, let me see. I don't know if I feel like that's the right community. Interesting. Okay, so this is gonna. Okay, here we go. Let's start. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so first off, oh no, they fell backwards. You know what? I scooched forwards and then they fell backwards. Okay, so let's do this here. I'm just gonna, oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? See, this is why I said this is gonna be the most organic, raw. I'm sorry, I snorted. I'm sorry. When I laugh, I snort. So I apologize. Okay, let's just start. So you saw which ones they were here. So I proved that I was shuffling. I wasn't like choosing cards or whatever. Because I always wonder. I get skeptical, and I'm like, do they choose the cards beforehand? Are they being genuine? Are they being authentic? Because you never know. Some people, they just want to like pull cards and make shit up because whatever. So that is really sweet coffee. Next time, I'm not putting so many sugars in there. Okay, let's start with these. So what came out from the Sacred Destiny Oracle deck were the following. They're really I love this deck so much because the pictures on it are so pretty. Like tell me that's like artwork in a card in like print. Look at that. Look at that bird. So pretty. I love birds. So anyways, so this says this is what came out. Take it as you will. I think it's pretty straightforward. Blessings, patience, going forward. Actually, sorry, it came out this way. It was going forward, patience, blessings. So I think that's pretty straightforward. So if there's something, this card came out in my other Spiritual Sunday reading. If there's something, I'm sorry, I have phlegm. I have really bad phlegm. I don't know why. Like, I know it's TMI. I'm not used to doing this YouTube thing, and I have like no filters, so I will say what's on my mind. So I apologize, but yes, I had to clear my throat for a second. And sometimes I'm like, what's appropriate to say on YouTube? Because you never like, can I just say anything? I don't know. I want to be a good influence for people. I don't want to be like a bad influence for somebody. So I don't want to be sitting here like spitting out fun. I want to be a lady, even though I do curse like a sailor. So anyways, going forward, blessings, patience. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I literally said this, where did I write this? Patience is a virtue. I wrote that somewhere recently. Okay, so what I'm getting off of this is everything happens in divine timing. Meaning if there's been some, like, let's say there's a dream or a goal you've been like holding out for that you haven't seen come to fruition, like a blessing. and let's say you're somebody who's, you, if you want to make it spiritual, religious, whatever, you're someone who does God's work. You treat people kindly. You treat people, excuse me, cleavage for a second. You treat people kindly. You treat people fairly. You do the right thing. Yet you don't see anything. Not okay. So here's the thing: you don't ever want to do things to like get things, because that's so. There's a word. There's extrinsic and intrinsic. When you do things for extrinsic gain, you're doing things to get something. Like you're nice. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna take it back to dating, but like, let's say you're on a date. Let's say you're a woman, or maybe you're a man, whatever, and you my neighbor just stepped outside her door. I'm just like curious. I'm so nosy. I'm so bad. I think I'm gonna close the window for a second. Hold on. Um, I'm gonna go like this. Um, I'm closing the window for a second. Sorry. This is, well, it's not really private because I'm gonna post it on the internet, but still, this is like. So, anyways, let's say you go on a date with somebody, and I'm gonna say it from a female perspective, and the guy, I don't know, like, he does everything for you. He opens the door, he pays the bill, even though I'm kind of someone who believes in like splitting the bill. That's just me because like I'm a modern day kind of person. I don't think the burden should be on a man, but I know it's very old school, like gentlemanly for like a guy to pay for stuff. But like if you're a woman and you take care of yourself and you have your own income, I think it's totally fine if you split the bill. Especially if you're just like starting to like get to know somebody or whatever. Like that's a lot of pressure on a guy. And like what if he's not working? Or like what if he doesn't have a lot of money? Like that's a lot of pressure for a guy. Like if I was a dude, I know if I was raised like if I was taught like, oh, you have to like pay for the person or whatever when you go out, you want to seem genuinely. I don't know. For me, it's like I don't know. I feel like it goes two ways. Okay, I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. I go off on a side tangent. Um, neuro spicy brain. Um, but let's say somebody they're extra nice to you, whatever. Da, 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 they expect something out of you in return. That would be, and they do all this stuff. They're nice to all whatever, because it's for extrinsic gain. They're trying to do something to get something. It's a transactional interaction. Does that make sense? So versus intrinsic is when within you don't expect anything out of it. You're just intrinsically kind. You're intrinsically nice. The guy that you're going out with treats you kindly because that's who he is in his character, right? Um, so yeah, that's what I think. But I don't know, when I say blessings, maybe you're like expecting something, or you've done all whatever the work and you put in the effort. Um, Blessings are gonna come. It's just patience. Patience. Look at these. That's a beautiful. Look at that. I don't know what kind of bird that is. Is that a crane? That's a beautiful picture. But it says patience. So move. What I'm getting out of this is move forward with your life. Um, Step into the light. Do what's right. Don't ever do it to get things out of, like, don't ever be nice or kind to get notoriety or like get noticed or publicity or whatever. Just do it because it's the right thing to do, and blessings will come. If you do things because you want people to like you, you want to gain favor, um that's not, you have to put in the work. You have to go forward. You have to be proactive. This kind of reminds me of the reading that I did the other Sunday, where it's like you have to take steady progress. You have to take the steps necessary in order to achieve the blessings that you want. And if you're patient, they will come. Because if you're hasty and you're like, I want them, I need my life to turn out the way now, it's not going to work like that. I think the universe, there's like an incubation period. Like we need to like, because okay, perfect example. I know this might sound really cheesy and cliche, but you think of a seed, right? When you plant a seed, it doesn't like grow like overnight, right? Like a tree doesn't just like boom out of the ground, right? You plant the seed, and then you tend to it, you water it, you fertilize it, you add a little bit of like little spiciness, fertilizer, whatever on top, and then it grows, right? And it grows progressively and steadily. It's not like all of a sudden a palm tree comes out of nowhere. That's not how it works. I think you need to you need to go forward. I might read the going forward thing again. I'm sorry, I should have been more respectful. I just literally threw the box. I'm gonna go like this. I shouldn't have just been like, some parts of me, I'm a mature 33-year-old and I know I'm cerebral and smart, but part of me is like, I still have like the 14-year-old me lingering inside me, so I apologize. I need to be more respectful to things. But, okay, going forward. It says, when you receive this card, fertility, productivity, that's what I said, love. See, I was reading this as productivity. Go forward, like productivity, love, health, abundance, and fulfillment are ahead for you. Things are growing and expanding in your life. Keep going forward. Sometimes it may be easy to get distracted by what's occurring around you, but this card indicates that it is important to not let anything hold you back from increasing the bounty in your life. Step up and know that your needs will be taken care of. Your life is escalating and intensifying in the best way and for your highest good. I think blessings and patience are pretty. So this means just like go forward, move forward with your life. God's got you. You'll be blessed. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like expedite it, but I did want to go. I need to drop something at the post office. Hopefully it doesn't rain like it did on Saturday. I was supposed to go to the post office on Saturday, but and I walked there and I'm going to take this one with me, even though she's like sleeping right now, which I'm going to take another sip of my desk. Oh, sorry, bottom of the deck. I do like to read the bottom of the deck. Why? It's the underlying energy, right? This is like the explicit energy, not explicit like derogatory, but like in your face, like this is like the focal point message. The underlying, like you think of an iceberg, there's like what's on top is peeking out, right? I literally just say peeking because like peeking and then like peeking like a peak. P-E-E-K and then P-E-E-K and then P-E-A-K. So, but anyways, so this was on the bottom of the deck, miracles. That's pretty self-explanatory. Fulfillment. I sometimes read the other ones. Release. Openness. She's lying down. I'm like, baby, I need to do the cards. She's lying. See, she was lying down on the cards. What are you looking at? Okay, she wants us. Anyways, okay. So as I was saying, so we have bottom of the deck is miracles. So I love this card. I've always liked this card. There's a few cards in this deck just because of the picture itself. I think is it's like a rainbow in a canyon or something, like a mountain. Let's read what it says. Let's read the description. Where's my book? ¿Dónde está mi libro? Okay. I need to refresh in my Spanish too. My Spanish kind of sucks. Not sucks, it's just it needs to get better. I hate when they ask you, so like when you do job applications and they're like, are you bilingual? And I'm like, I don't want to lie and be like, no, but I do speak Spanish, but it's not like perfect Spanish. So I put no, and that probably like eliminates me from like God knows how many jobs. But I can hold a conversation with somebody. But I just hate the fact that when they ask that, I'm like, do I say yes? But then some of the jobs they ask for like intermediate, like they say, what's your proficiency with like comprehension, writing, whatever. And I'm like, well, I really have like classroom level reading in Spanish, but I also like, I do know like writing and stuff like that. Anyways, I'm going to get back to what I was saying. So, because I'm sure people don't need to hear me talk about my job applications, unless you watch the video that I did about job hunting. Anyways, it says miracles. Let's hold the card up so we do it right. After the storm, the rainbow appears. I'm sorry, I have to burp. Okay, it's gone now. No matter where we are, the instant a rainbow splashes across the sky, we usually stop and stand in awe. Some say that rainbows are messages from the Creator. Others say that they are part of the electromagnetic spectrum phenomenon. But no matter the explanation for their existence, rainbows have struck awe in the hearts and souls of many through time. Many traditions believe that rainbows are blessings from the Creator. A double rainbow is double the blessings. And then it says, the sacred landscape wants you to know the storms of the past are passing and your dreams are coming true. No matter what has happened in the past, your future holds abounding miracles. Good fortune, celestial beauty, and inner divinity are expanding within you. Believe that your life is guided. Trust in the goodness of the universe. A celestial bridge to the heavens is opening for you. Start a health program. Invest in your career or initiate a relationship and good fortune will manifest. Blessings are flowing in all directions. Believe that you deserve the best because you do. Bounty, joy, blessings, and miracles are flowing your way. Yay! Happiness. Because sometimes readings can be pretty shitty, depending on the energy. And then look, right after that, there's miracles and it says new beginnings. Interesting. So, again, pretty straightforward. I think miracles are possible. I even have a quote that says, miracles start to happen when you give as much energy to your dreams as you do to your fears. So if there's something that you feel like is impossible, and again, I'm going to bring people are going to be like, why does she talk about President Obama so much? So I literally this morning was just, so I have a playlist of all like these Christian songs or whatever. And then I have one of the songs by MC Yogi, Vote for Hope, is in there. And it was again when President Obama was like being elected. It was like 08, 2008, and then he was going into 2009. And he said, vote for, like, it's literally, hope is like, he said, I just heard today again this part, it says, hope is one of the greatest gifts that God could ever give to us. Hope in the face of adversity, hope, for change and whatever, And if you feel like all hope is lost, I don't know what anyone else's situation is, but if you feel like all hope is lost and nothing is possible, I challenge you to change your thinking. Your mind is so powerful. Like literally what you think, what goes on in your head internally is reflected externally. So or and a flip side, yeah, what you now you may think, oh, but my reality is showing this, this, and this, and I didn't think that. Well, maybe reality is trying to tell you something, and maybe you're not listening. And when it comes to miracles and stuff, I think sometimes we don't believe miracles can happen because it seems so impossible. But I think if you take the I think if you take the boundaries off of what you think to be true, that's when manifestation occurs. Is like when you take the limitate that's the proper word, when you take the limitations off of what you think you know to be true. Because when you think about it, look at all the great inventors, right? Steve Jobs created Apple in his garage, right? And now look at what it is. May he rest in peace, Steve Jobs. I do the sign of the cross because I always want to say, when wherever the souls are, like, may they be happy and prosperous and fruitful. But look what he gave us, this gift of like amazing technology. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do this today on a laptop if we didn't have that. So something sparked him to do that, right? Um, I heard that Sylvester Stallone, I read it somewhere, that he wrote the script for Rocky when he had like $100 in his bank account. Like literally, that was it, $100 to his name. Oprah Winfrey, she went from nothing. She had a really hard life, and she, now she's Oprah. Like, I don't know what she's like personally in her personal life, but like, you know, she created like Super Soul Sunday, the Oprah Show. Maya Angelou, she had a hard life too. Um, and I think you have to. It's those people who have like that tenacity and that perseverance. I think that they're the ones that will kind of succeed and carry on in life because they don't give up. Nothing, there's nothing that can deter them from their path. So it's like, yeah, you think, okay, maybe it's a miracle, but really, what if a miracle is just you applying yourself and doing what you never thought was possible? You're doing the impossible, or what you thought was impossible becomes possible because you believed in yourself. What was maybe a miracle was something that was always there all along, but because you were putting limitations and you kept speaking negativity into your future. Because I do believe words carry power, and that if you speak faith into your future, you can change anything. Like literally, and I have it on my thing. Miranda Kerr said it. Like, thoughts are things. Your thoughts shape your reality. So it's like, and if you see a certain reality and you're like, you don't like it, guess what? You have to change your thinking to change your reality. And if you're gonna keep speaking, it's like beating the drum. If you keep telling the same narrative and story and over again, it's never gonna change. You might see it that way, but you need to take the steps necessary and say, hey, I'm gonna get up in the morning, and I'm like, for instance, for me, like, I want to become not an early bird. I want to try to eventually become a morning person. I would love to be able to get back into running again, even though my knees kind of messed up. But I used to love to run. And I considered putting. I'm kind of scared to do it in here and say about St. Albans, to be honest, because I don't think it would be a good look to see, someone in a sports bra with with like tight yoga pants. I just, I don't know if farmers are ready to see. In Miami, it would be totally normal. But if you saw a girl in like basically like a bra, like a sports bra, with my midriff exposed in like tight pants where my butt cheeks are, hanging out, I don't think the I don't think farmers. It's just I don't think that would be good. So, anyways, but yeah, going back to miracles, I just think that's the energy it says. That's the bottom of the deck is miracles. It says going forward, blessings, patience, and miracles. So, you know, or maybe something in your life is a miracle. Maybe a miracle will happen. Maybe when you move forward in life and you're patient, miracles will happen. I don't know. Next cards are, so there's four of them. Stress management. This was the first one that came out. It said stress management. This one, I might have to read this one. Wise decision. It's like an owl. Owls represent wisdom. I didn't know this, but like owls do represent wisdom and like esoteric knowledge and like inner thinking or whatever. And that's like a legit angel, and angels have wings. So angels are supposed to be very like wise beings, celestial beings. Miracle. Oh, look at Jesus. This is a nice one. Look at that. Miracle came out. I haven't seen this card in a while, so that came out. And it says Christ at the bottom. He's like literally holding the planet, bro. That's a lot of energy. That's a very powerful card. Literally like Jesus holding the the whole earth, bro. That's crazy. I like it though. That's powerful. It's literally like holding the earth in his hands. That's dope. And then heaven is watching over you. I like how it kind of says miracle. This kind of goes together and it says heaven is watching over you. Again, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. I feel like these two go together and these go together. I know, I feel like these are a couple and those are a pair. I'm trying to think what I can get out of this intuitively. If there's something that like, I don't know, I feel like what this is giving me is that the decisions you make in life can impact your health and well-being to such a degree. So you want to make decisions that are in concert with your highest self and that will make you feel good. Those are the vibes that I'm getting off of this. I just tried to like tune in and figure out what are the deeper. So it says stress management and wise decisions. So that means like, and this one says guardian angel on the bottom. So I feel it, yeah, like I feel like it's like I'm sorry, I'm just trying to think like make decisions that are in concert with your highest self. What does that mean? Okay, good example. Okay, so when I was little, like 13, 12 years old, and if a decision was felt uneasy to me, I used to say whenever in doubt, don't do. Meaning like if you doubt something, that is your gut or your conscience saying no, heed, this is not a good decision. Because if you are totally in alignment, like if a decision feels good to you, it wouldn't cause you stress, right? So like if something is weighing you down, if there's a decision, and this is not a message for me, this is a message for someone else, because I know that like I'm pretty like easygoing about my decisions. Like I know, like for me, I'm pretty steadfast. Like I'm pretty resolute. Like I know, especially doing card reading. I feel like this is a message for someone else, whoever you are. I don't know who you are. I guess this is a message for you. But if you're watching this or you do decide to watch it, if there is something that is weighing you down and it's causing you friction and disruption, you want to do things that make you feel good. You want to choose people, jobs, relationships, places, things that bring you peace. Because if they disrupt your peace and your harmony, you're gonna experience stress. Sometimes it's hard to make those decisions a wise decision because You don't want to hurt another person's feelings. You, you know, you may be someone who always wants to maintain the status quo. Maybe, I don't know, maybe, perfect example, maybe you're somebody, let's say, I'm going to go with a marriage. Let's say you're somebody, you're in a marriage and you're not happy. You're scared to, like, let's say you become very accustomed. Let's say I'm picking up the energy of a wife. I don't know why. I'm picturing a wife. I don't know who you are. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this. I'm picturing a wife who is not happy in her marriage. Her husband, it's become cold and dry. This is a very specific message. I do not know. And I haven't really done messages for other people before. I've usually done them for myself. But I'm getting the vibes that there's like a wife or someone who's become very like complacent and bored. She stays home. She takes care of a baby. She's afraid her husband's gonna cheat on her because it's become very tedious and monotonous. Um, and that spark that was once there, just maybe he has a really tough job that's weighing him down, and maybe they're disagreeing and fighting a lot. I think he's away a lot. I don't know who this. I've never gotten a message like this before, bro, like ever. But I feel like there's something. There's someone needs to make a decision about something that's weighing them down, and I don't know who that is. I don't know. There's someone cutting wood or something. Over, I don't know. I hear like a saw. But whoever you are, if you are listening to my message, if you do come across this, I don't know when. Um, make decisions that are going to bring you peace, and choose yourself. And whoever this message is for. Let's say there is a wife or somebody or someone that's contemplating, maybe not divorce, but you're not happy. If that's your situation and I picked up on it, I don't know who you are because I'm not married. I don't have a husband, and my baby, she's my baby. And I have other things going on in my life that do cause me stress, but it's certainly not a marriage. I'm more, put it this way, I'm in the single dating phase. Like I'm in your bachelorette kind of, you know, I don't, that's a bad word. I was going to say hoeing. I'm not a hoe. I'm not a whore. It's going to take a really different turn than it was. But I'm definitely not in the stage of being in a marriage and a committed relationship. I'm very much like, let me get to meet people and see how it goes and enjoy that. And then maybe if something sticks, then great. If not, then I don't really care. Anyways, but I'm picking up the vibes that there's like there's a woman and she's not happy and her husband's away a lot and I think he's drinking maybe a little bit too much. And whoever you are, this message is for you. I don't know your name. I'm getting the name letter R, Rebecca. There's letter A. I don't know. That just came. I don't know. So like I don't know. So if there's someone that's not happy, like make decisions. Like maybe whoever you are. I'm just gonna say this. I don't know who. This has never happened to me before. Maybe tell your significant other like you want to have like and also too, this is a message for everyone. If you're in a marriage and you're like you feel like your spark is going away, date your person. I've never been married, but I know what I want out of like a relationship. Date your person. And if you're not someone if you believe in monogamy and you're not polyamorous, because I know a lot of people are doing a polyamorous thing now, open relationship, don't ever sacrifice your morals to make another person happy. Date your person, create the spark again, bring it back. A really good, you know what comes to mind? I know what comes to mind. There's a show called This Is Us. Oh my god, bro, that's crazy. Bro, oh my god. Hold on. Bro. Oh my god, hold on. Hold on. Hold on 2 seconds. If this would be crazy, if this is what I'm picking up, hold on. And I literally was just gonna, Rebecca, This Is Us. Is that her name? Oh my, bro, this is crazy. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so like legit, oh my god, this is crazy. So I just picked up on, there's a guy, so I just said the show This Is Us and I picked up on the name Rebecca. So there's somebody who is married to somebody. So in the show This Is Us, he's an architect. Jack is an architect. She is at home and they something, I don't know if he has, and oh my god, I literally said he had a drinking problem. In the show, Jack has a drinking problem. Bro, this is a really specific message, and I did not think this would come out of this thing. But I just picked up on a wife, and she's like miserable. I don't know if they're in an apartment, and she's like not happy because the spark is gone, and she like wants to like, and she wants to have like sex or something. Bro, this is really specific. Maybe you're watching my channel. I don't know. If you are, like, if you need a reading, you don't even need to pay me, but I can, So it's something, someone's not happy and they want to make a hard decision, but they don't know how to tell their partner about it. And they love their partner because they have history together. But that partner's like waning and like losing interest and they're drinking more. What you need to, so in the show, This Is Us, Rebecca tells Jack, like, because they start to like separate them. Like, I forgot what happened, but basically they get like distant or something and they lose their spark. And so I forgot, she like tries to like make a move to him. I think it's that show. I don't know if it's another, I'm pretty sure it's that show. And she, oh, that's what it was. Yes. And her friends say, dress up really nice, wear nice, whatever. And, yeah, it's either that show or the one with Shailene Woodley called Three Women or The Three Women or something. But anyways, I'm picking up the name Rebecca. I don't know if her husband's in construction or something. And if that, let me tell you something. I'm just gonna go off here. Um, I've never been in a, I can't say been in a relationship. I've been in like very few relationships, which is fine. I've been someone who I pride myself on being single. Um, because I'm never gonna, because I don't want to be in that situation where it's 5 years down the line and I'm miserable because, like I was desperate or lonely. Because here's the thing, when you first date somebody, and I know this is kind of going off topic, when you first date somebody, everyone puts their best foot forward. You're in the honeymoon phase, the highlight reel, where it gets, that's why I'm like, I don't know, for me, I can give a shit less about weddings. I don't want to, for me, I just don't want to spend tons of money on a wedding that's for one day, only 3 or 4 hours. I'd rather just elope and like go to a really cool country or something and like buy a bunch of pizza in Italy, like have really good sex in a villa. I know that sounds really bad, but it's the truth. Like, that's what I want. Maybe you're different than me. Maybe you want like the big beach wedding and like the big dress. Like, I could give a shit less because that's who I am. I don't need all the fanfare. But some people do, like that's in their religion, like Catholic religion, they get married in a church, you do the whole thing. I'm not really like that. To me, it's about the connection between the person. I'm really unique. I'm weird. So, yeah. Um, but anyways, my thing is that whoever you are, whoever this person is, I don't know who you are, but for some reason I picked up on that energy and that name. I don't know. The only Rebecca I know is there was a Rebecca from like Family Friends that were like years ago in Miami. She's like, I think she did dance and stuff, but that's not who I'm picking up. This is an American family. It's not Hispanic. These are American people, very American people with very like conservative values. I don't think divorce is like in the car. Like, that's not, yeah. I don't know who this family is, but that's what I'm picking up on. Um, so my thing is, you know, life is, because, okay, so here's the thing. Whoever you are, that hard decision you want to make, you owe it to yourself to be open and honest with your partner. I know, see, okay, here's the thing. I end up like not sabotaging a relationship or a connection. I haven't even really like had a really, like, to say like I've had a relationship, but like when I've been trying to have formidable, substantial relationships with people, I usually like, I end up botching it or sabotaging it, not like intentionally, but because I'm like overly transparent and I like say what I feel, because I've learned that like if you don't communicate with your partner, if you don't speak to them, or you're not even a partner, a job, a friend. I turned down a job because they didn't spell my name right. I didn't tell them that, but like they spelled it Ashely. I'm like, I'm not going to work for you. Like, if you can't even get my name right as a candidate, why the heck would I even work for you? Because that would predetermine how it's going to be treated later on. So yeah, that's just me. It sounds bitchy, but it's the truth. Because the thing is, you matter. We all matter, right? Your soul's journey. Maybe whoever you are, maybe your soul is calling out to you to take that step forward and make that hard, wise decision that you don't want to make, that maybe your family doesn't want you to make because you're going to be looked at as the divorcee. But maybe, okay, whoever you are, I'm picking up on, I don't know who this person is. I don't know Rebecca, but maybe there's somebody out there who is going to love you the way that you deserve to be loved, even if you have children with whoever this other person is. I don't know who. I'm just picking up on an American couple that's really conservative and has conservative values. The husband's drinking a lot. He's getting drunk. He's coming home. I don't know if they're wealthy. I can't imagine. I don't know if they're wealthy. I imagine an apartment. But like, anyways, my point is that nothing is worth sacrificing your happiness for. No child. No. Some people, I've learned that they stay together because they do it for the children. But think about the life that you, okay, perfect example. The movie It Ends With Us with Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, which I know that there's a lot of beef with those two people. I'm not unfortunately, I'm pro Justin Baldoni, even though I think Blake Lively is gorgeous and I think Ryan Reynolds is hilarious and Deadpool is like the shit. But that whole thing turned into a hot mess. But Justin Baldoni, he made the movie Clouds, and my allegiance will always be to Zach Zodiac. So and his family. So, anyways, side tangent. But in that movie, It Ends With Us, she makes the hard decision to break up with Ryle, the character Ryle, because he basically beat her. And the guy was good looking in the character, like good looking doctor, surgeon, whatever. But she breaks up with him because he treats her like shit. And they have a baby together. She could have stayed together for the baby. She could have been like, yeah, let's make this work. Because he was like, hey, I'm going to get help, whatever, I'm here for you. And, with the pouty face when they were in the hospital. And she's like, and it's sad because there's so much bad attention getting about that whole thing circulating. It's kind of died down, but like, there's this scene, and they're such good actors, like, but there's a scene where they're in the hospital and she just gave birth, and like, she says, I want a divorce. And she tells Ryle, like, she says, I want a divorce. And then he's like, because she says, imagine it for her, like, if your daughter came to you and said, Daddy, he's beating me, but I love him. Daddy, like, I love him, but he pushed me down the stairs. And she's like, what would you tell him? And then Justin Baldoni, Ryle, the character, he's like, I would tell her to leave or something, or never look back. So it's kind of like that. Now, I won't say that whoever you are, if you're being beaten, that's definitely gross. There's domestic violence, out. But if because here's what happens. And again, I will say this. I haven't had that many relationships, but I do feel like I'm an old soul. I feel like I've been here. I've done this. I'm used to whatever. But what's going to happen is that if you bottle up your feelings and you don't tell whoever this is the truth about how you feel, you're going to be left with a lot of resentment. And I feel like crying right now. I don't know who you are, but I feel like crying. So I guess I'm tapping into your energy. You're going to be really sad because resentment creates distance. It breeds anger, negativity. It leads to infidelity. So, an argument. So, if you don't communicate, let's say therapy, some people go to couples therapy. But let me tell you, it's not worth. No child, especially if it's a baby, if you have a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, think of your children, right? If you want to be a good role model for your children, if you want to see their mother grow up to be the strong, beautiful, powerful woman, and you're going to say, yeah, this was your daddy, and we were married for 5 years, maybe 6 years or 10 years, and we dated for 3 or whatever, and that's your daddy, and whatever. And then you meet an amazing person who will always keep the spark alive, who will pleasure you and love you the way that you deserve with your children. Because I do believe, here's my thing, even if you have children, I think your sex life could still be amazing. I think sex is really important, especially with couples, because that's how you couple, right? Literally. Not like that, but that, like, whatever. That's how you make babies. And then people have babies, and then it kind of, the attraction, I think, wanes because your priorities change, right? And I don't have children, but I have worked with children. So, and it's sad. It's sad that, like, You know, people get married and then they're, you know, and then what happens is because you get older, if the guy's a jerk, he's going to go, oh, but I want the hotter, younger person because they're going to keep me alive and keep my blood boiling. You know, they're going to do all the kinky, sexy things that, like, and I'm sorry, this is not like, I meant for it. This is just the way it went. This is the message I'm picking up on. I never really read for other people before, but this is the message that I'm getting. And, yeah, like, you want to be the role model for your kids, or maybe you're a man and the roles are switched. I would just, you know, you want to be the example that you would want to be for your kids. Now, I will say divorce is probably pretty messy because it could take a year, 2 years. Um, you have to go through like paperwork. You need a divorce lawyer. If you have assets, you have to separate the assets. If you have kids, you have to pay alimony and child support. You can go through separation. You could get legally separated, but it's a whole thing, and it's really hard. But no one, you never want to sacrifice your happiness because you only have one life to live. And whoever you are, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Like, I think it's hard. Whoever you are, it's hard because you don't want to. I guess you love that person, but you're not happy anymore, and you're thinking about what it would be like to be single, to be able to go out again and like have a drink at a bar, or you know. But then you don't want to leave your kids behind. Here's what I say: if you have a friend, if you have a support system, maybe if you have, or go to a therapist. I'm not a therapist. I'm more of a spiritualist, intuitive person, but I'm just relaying the message. But the work, the inner work you have to do, and sometimes, and here's the thing: sometimes we don't get it right the first time. You know, you might, that's like, I look at it as dating. I may match with like a poopiest person. I may match with like the fuck boy from God. I don't know if I could say that word, but you know, but you move on and you learn your lesson, and, you know, so we're constantly evolving and growing. But I will say that whoever you are, if a decision, make a decision that is in concert with your highest self, meaning like, don't be afraid to start over. I did a video about starting over. Starting over can look different for different people. It could be, let's say you dropped out of college and you're like, I don't want to go to college anymore, and you want to create your own business, and it's going to be it has $1 million idea. Go do it. Um, let's say you left a marriage that you had for 20, 30 years. Go do it. Why not? You know, like it's you. I know it may sound selfish when I say that, but it's the truth. Because what if you're not with your right person? What if that's not your, maybe that's your a kindred spirit, but maybe it's a soulmate, but it's not like a true soulmate. Because we all have soulmates, which I should do a video on this. We all have soulmates and people that we're going to gravitate to, but there's always going to be that one person that gets you, that lights your fire. And oftentimes I think we settle for complacency out of fear, because like in Olivia Rodrigo's song, she says, how could I ever trade something that's good for what's right? Maybe you're in something that's good for you, but it's not what's right for you. Make the decision to do what's right. And let me tell you, it might be really hard because your friends may go, oh my God, you're crazy. You're going to dump Bobby. I don't know his name. I don't know what the guy's name is, but I just said Bobby because it's a random name. But I was going to say Gregory, Jackson, Hunter. They're super American names. Maybe his name's Lorenzo. I don't know. But maybe you're afraid to dump, not say dump him, but leave that person because of fear of what your family might say. Maybe you come from a super conservative family and divorce is not welcomed. Um, it takes a lot of, which is funny because on the bottom of this deck, of the other deck, it says leadership. On this one, which I was going to read the cards deck, but this one says leadership. So maybe like you're afraid to be a leader. Oh, look, oh my God, look at this, bro. It says leadership and then it says change right after. This is God, I love when the messages come together because it's so nice. It just makes sense. So it says leadership. So maybe this message, whoever you are, Rebecca, I don't know who you are, if there's a Rebecca, because I don't know any Rebeccas. Except from the show This Is Us, but that's a fictional show, right? Make the change. Be the change. Be a leader. I don't know. I just gave a message to a random person. I don't know. Yay! Um, so be the change, because there's someone maybe waiting out there for you who's going to be everything, who's going to love kids, who maybe will go to that. Maybe your husband's super, like, maybe you want to go to a dance class, right? You want to keep your kids, like, have a babysitter come, one of your girlfriends come and like babysit your kids, and then, you know, you want to go try a flamenco, you want to do a ballroom class, right? And you're like, hey babe, let's go to a ballroom class, and he's like, yeah, I don't want to do that, that seems silly. You deserve somebody who's going to do that shit with you. I literally have on my bucket list of like a perfect, not perfect partner. There's no perfect partner. I look at someone as, I want an imperfectly perfect person. I want the person who is not perfect, but they're trying, and who's going to be like, yes, I want to do that. I literally have on my list, I want to be with someone who's going to play. So there's a game called Just Dance, and yes, I'm 33 and I like the game Just Dance because I've done dance my whole life, ballet and stuff. And I always told myself I want to be able to, and it sounds silly, but I want to go on like a date, or if someone comes to my place and we play Just Dance, and there's like in the Just Dance game, there's like duets and stuff. That's a great way to build a relationship with somebody that you're already married to or with. Play Just Dance with them. It'll look really silly and fun, but it's competitive because you can compete against each other, and it builds teamwork because you have to do the steps in unison, like synchronized and whatnot. And it's just fun socially. You know, you get to bond with someone, you get close, and so maybe play Just Dance. And if your husband or your boyfriend doesn't want to do that, then guess what, my friend, whoever you are, maybe it's time to retire that person, or at least say, you know, hey, I want to separate from you for a bit. And if they're like, what the fuck, you're like, well, you don't really treat me, you're like, all this stuff that I want to do with you, you don't want to do, and I'm sorry, but like, we're not talking anymore. You're going out, you're coming home later, we barely even speak, it's like, you know, I don't know, that's a very specific message. So make a decision, make the wise decision that's going to cause you less stress and manage your stress. So whoever you are, that message is for you. As for these, miracle, and whoever you are, this is other message for you. Heaven is watching over you. So if you feel like you're going against God by getting a divorce, again, really specific message, you're not, because God is watching over you. Also, if you notice, here's the other thing, if you notice that like your significant other is doing things that are maybe even unlawful, and you feel bad about like speaking up about it, because there's people that do that. There's like women who get in relationships with men and they don't know the whole other side of that person. They have like a whole nother life, they have a whole whatever, bro, like, and that's not your fault. There's women that happens to them and they don't realize that their husband was a drinker, or that their husband gambled a lot or whatever, bro. And if you have children, think about your children, but just know that whoever you are, God's got you, because it says it right here. Okay, so moving forward, almost done. And then I need to get going because I need to drop the package off. Okay, so okay, look at this. This is a badass card. She's like literally kicking. She's doing karate. So, adventure, goals, rescue. That's what the message. This is what came out. Adventure, bro. She's literally okay. If we're gonna keep on the storyline of this woman who is like, you know, this, I don't know who this person is. I just want to disclaim that. This in this relationship, and she's not happy, and she's afraid to make the decision to say like, hey, I want out, or like, I'm not, whatever, you know, break free, because apparently God is telling you to do so, because adventure awaits. And look, she's like not shackled. She's literally like, she looks like an angel. She's operating from her heart space, and she's freeing herself from the shackles that bind her. The shackles could be your mind. The shackles could be a present living situation. The shackles could be a job. And then it says goals. So meaning like, I think you should maybe someone establish goals for yourself. Should we read that one? Where's the little booklet? Let's read it. 25. Dedication. Okay, here we go. Training work skills. Let's put the little karate chick up right here. You can create whatever you truly desire but only if you're willing to do the necessary work to accomplishment. That means no shortcuts, no bypasses, and no free lunches. The only path to success is discipline and consistency. Fortunately, your teacher guides. That's one thing I don't understand. I don't know why at the bottom of the deck they put these like little things that says teacher guides. I don't understand that. But whatever. It says, fortunately, your teacher guides are present, helping you develop the dedication and mature work ethic to achieve such success. You are advised to get organized and be practical. Approach your goals one small step at a time. Show up every day to the work you desire, and it will come to pass. Be willing to do whatever it takes to reach your aims. If you aren't clear about what to do, seek out the help of mentors and guides who specialize in your field of interest. Okay, I just had it. Okay. Study and learn with dedication. Set your standards high. Okay, we're going along with the storyline of whoever this is. Break yourself free of the shackles that bind you and the limitations. Take the limitations off of your mind, and then goals. I feel like if there are things that you want, and this is, I'm going to relate it to the message that I got specifically for whoever this person is in this relationship that I was mentioning, and then also for other people. Like, if you have goals that you've been neglecting, and this can be for me too, because I know that I have things that I've not yet to do that I procrastinate on. Take the steps necessary to achieve them. Maybe you have a goal that you've been neglecting that you're like, you need to get to doing. I do feel like there was a thing in this, it said mentors. It said seek out mentors. For whoever the message was, I definitely say go to a therapist, whoever you are. BetterHelp is really great. And then do therapy yourself first, and then go bring your significant other into that if they want to. So that's what oh, my little headphones. One of them lost battery. I don't know which one, but one of them did. So I would say set goals for yourself, achievable goals. There was the book I was reading by Michelle Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama. I don't want to say her name. So she has a book, and in it, I still have yet to finish it, but the first part of it said, you want to set achievable goals, meaning like you don't want to do these whole like huge goals that are like not possible, because you're going to be left like dumbfounded, like why didn't this happen? You have to set achievable ones, like small achievable ones. So I would definitely say that do that. And maybe the first step is, yeah, go get therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy. Sometimes the therapy is just the inner work. Like they actually help facilitate your self-discovery. Like sometimes you just sit there in therapy and you talk, and other times they'll tell you advice, but oftentimes it's you rediscovering parts of yourself. So, but I would definitely say set goals. If you want to seek adventure, whoever you are, whoever you are, that doesn't break free from the shackles, and it's going to open up a whole world for you that you're going to be able to like have adventure and do different things, and then achieve those goals, And then and this one says rescue. There's like literally like there's like a thing coming from the sky. Like basically this person looks like they're dead, and then there's like a angel coming from the sky to like heal the person. Let's read what this one says. I'm just curious. It says 53. Quiet insight, epiphany, recovery. Let's do this. So it says, it may seem like you are lost or going nowhere and you don't know how to get back on your way. Take heart. Your runner guides are here to help you out of the sand trap and reconnect you with your internal roadmap. They will help awaken your spirit so you stop pursuing wrong turns and dead ends and get back into your authentic flow. Do not blindly push forward or try to figure out all the answers right now. Also, stop trying to get ahead. Let go of your fear of being left behind. Wait, what does it also stop trying to get ahead? Let go of your fear of being left. Your runner guides cannot lead you forward if you're bogged down in internal noise and confusion. While you may feel trapped or it may seem as if you've lost your way, the truth is you're only steps away from your authentic path. All you need to do is relax and become quiet, get centered, go within and listen to your heart. The runners advise you not to talk about your confusion or ask others for their opinion, for it only adds to the problem. Your soul knows what it wants, who you are, and where you belong. That's important. So if we're going along with the storyline of that specific person that I was picking up on, it says your soul knows what it wants, who you are, and where you belong. So if your soul is telling you to dump that... Bro, I was going to say a word that's the name of Cracker Barrel. Bro, this is really specific. That's like a derogatory term for a white person to say cracker, but like I was going to say if you want to dump that... That's really mean. I don't want to call anyone that, but for some reason that's what it's telling me. knows what it wants, who you are, and where you belong. Empty your mind of all strategies and convictions on how to move ahead. Admit you don't know what you're doing at the moment and ask your runners to guide you home. Your runner guides are here to assist you, and soon you will remember who you are and find your way back into the flow of your life. And then the bottom was leadership and change. And then it says creativity. And then it says truth. And then it says pleasure. And then then it says closure and celebration. Those are really good cards, by the way. Usually sometimes that doesn't happen. So I'm taking this as have patience, blessings are on the way, move forward with your life. You'll gain closure within time, and celebration, better days are ahead, and there's pleasure to be found in that, and truth. And the truth, let me tell you, truth is hard to admit to. A lot of people would rather stay complacent than fight for what's truthful and what's right. Meaning they'll cover up wrongdoing, they'll scam people out of things, they'll talk shit about people, they'll make stuff up that's not, just to cover up their like wrongdoings and stuff. It may be hard to speak up for what's right because you feel like you'll be chastised and ridiculed and ostracized. But let me tell you something. Like, again, I'm going to go back to that example of It Ends With Us, because like the character, and that's someone's story, 100% that's someone's story. She chose her. She could have chose to stay with that. She could have chosen to stay with that guy. And they were married. Like they got married, whatever. She could have had the house, the nice house, the money, the sex, all that stuff. But she knew that she wasn't going to truly be happy because he abused her. And narcissistic abuse, let me tell you, narcissistic abuse is one of the hardest things to recover from. Because narcissistic abuse, what happens is the person, they bait you, they love bomb you, they bait you, they keep you, it's almost like they give you enough attention to keep you around, to keep you hooked. But once you're hooked, that's it. They treat you like shit. You're only as good as what you can offer that person, whether it's your body for sex, whether it's your love and adoration, because they feed off of your love and adoration to feel whole, right? A lot of people do that. How many people can truly say that they feel whole within themselves without needing another person? And I've always felt that way because I've dealt it where I've gotten connected to someone and I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. It feels so good. Our chemistry's great. And then they slowly start to wane and I'm like, oh God. And then I start to ruminate and I'm like, why? Why did this happen? So I've been there. I get it. I'm not like Jesus. I'm not like where I'm like perfect. I'm not. I'm just saying that like you want to feel whole in yourself first to truly be able to love someone else, because if you don't feel whole, you're going to become codependent on somebody. And if whoever you are that reading that was for, maybe you become codependent on a certain person, and you feel obligated to stay in a relationship with someone. You never want to feel obligated. If you feel obligated in a relationship, let me tell you, I don't care if that's with family. I don't care if it's with your best friend that you've had from childhood for years. I don't care if it's a neighbor who's always been neighborly to you. Never feel obligated towards anybody, because that's not love. That's not friendship. That's obligation. I would never want to stay with someone because I feel obligated to. And I'm very easy, like one thing I learned myself, I'm so easy to cut someone off the moment I feel anything that feels like off to me. Since I'm very intuitive, like I can feel when someone's being disingenuous to me. And when you see beyond the veil of someone's actions, because someone could say something to you, but they could really mean something else entirely. Like they can say, oh, I love you, but they're off cheating with Minsky, the let's say the puta, the stripper at whatever, red cat, pink cat, pussy cat, strip club. You know what I mean? So it's like you feel it in your gut, and you never want to be obligated to stay with anybody ever. Um, that's just me, and that's why I'm very careful about who I link up with and I date and stuff. I'm very, very selective because it's my heart. Your energy is so precious. Everyone's energy is so precious, especially if you're someone that's destined, like let's say you're destined for greatness, somebody like, let's say you have a calling on your heart and God is coveting you and preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. And if you're off cavorting with Jimmy Jones, or you're married to, let's say Bobby McGee. I think there's a song named Bobby McGee. Let's say you're married to someone that you're not right with. Like you thought it was going to be great, but it didn't turn out to be great. And you liked him because everyone else liked him and it seemed like a good fit. Nothing's worth that. And if you're scared because you have children and you're scared to divorce because you don't want to do it alone, God, it says it right here. It says it. It literally said, God's got you. It says, heaven is watching over you and a miracle will happen. So if there's a decision that's been very weighing on your heart that seems hard, um, make the wise decision. So, which I might pull one more just to get like extra clarity. Oh, look. Okay, perfect. Okay. And bro, I wish I can like, I don't know who I'm picking up on, but I wish I can like meet them in person or like, because apparently, so this is what came out, because I knew I needed more cards. This is for the story for that specific person. It says confidence, learning experience. You're building confidence through your lived experiences and the lessons you're learning. And look how pretty. Maybe you're someone, maybe you look like this woman in the picture. Maybe you have dark hair, like, like that. Maybe you have like curly dark hair and you like animals. Maybe you're like me, maybe you have like curly dark hair and you're compassionate for like animals and stuff. And your husband is like not like that, or your partner or whatever. So, yeah. You see how she's like setting the bird free, right?